नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
ॐ 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 नमो भगवते
सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः, सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः, सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु, मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्। ॐ असतो मा सद्गमय, तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय, मृत्योर्मामृतङ्गमय। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। Good evening. Small group. TTS is a small group. So please see page number 32 for today's quote. Hope I have not covered this quote. It doesn't matter. Okay. The quotes can be studied any number of times. Take up one idea, make that one idea your life. Think of it, dream of it, live on that idea. Let the brain, muscles, nerves, every part of your body be full of that idea, and just leave every other idea alone. This is the way to success, and this is the way great spiritual giants are produced. Pick up one idea and make that idea your life. Swami is saying, if you really want to become successful in any endeavor, any field of life, so you need to commit yourself fully to that idea that you've taken up. You take up one idea today, you will give a try with that for some time, and afterwards you give that up and you switch the idea and you go to some other idea. That is not the way. You will not be able to achieve anything great. You just see whether it is any sphere of life, whether it is spiritual or material or mundane plane. The people who have attained success, they had attained success because they had shown that kind of commitment towards the ideal that they had taken up in life. For example, Mahatma Gandhi, ahimsa and truth and non-violence. Okay, so two ideals he had taken up, and he made those ideals his life. He breathed life into those ideals, and he made those ideals his life. Right? Nothing else. Character got transformed. He was so committed to those ideals to such an extent that it became his life. In 1922, when that non-cooperation movement was going on, there was a complete agitation. The whole country was on boil. Practically, everybody thought that this is the time actually we should drive the British out and attain independence. That point of time, that Chauri Chaura incident had taken place. Okay, the people actually got enraged and then they turned violent and they attacked the police station and a few policemen they burnt alive. And Mahatma Gandhi stopped the movement. He said that yes, we have to win independence, but the means employed must be peaceful means. That's all. Means are as important as the end for him. Okay? స్వతంత్రాన్ని సముపార్జించాలి. దానికి ఒక మార్గం పెట్టుకున్నాం మనం, అది శాంతి అహింసా మార్గం. ఆ మార్గం ద్వారానే సాధించాలి. మీన్స్ ఆర్ యాజ్ ఇంపార్టెంట్ యాజ్ ద ఎండ్. you know Definitely when you take up a movement of that scale, other freedom fighters thought actually definitely some scale of violence would happen invariably. కొంత వైలెన్స్ అనేటువంటిది, హింస అనేటువంటిది తప్పక జరుగుతుంది. కాబట్టి మనం దానికి సిద్ధపడి ఉండాలి. ఎక్కడో ఒక మూల ఒక 10 మందో 15 మందో చచ్చిపోయారని చెప్పి మూమెంట్ ఆపడం కరెక్ట్ కాదని చాలా మంది డిఫర్డ్ విత్ మహాత్మా గాంధీ. సుభాష్ చంద్రబోస్ రైట్స్ ఇన్ హిస్ బుక్ ఇండియన్ స్ట్రగుల్. Okay, he differed with Mahatma Gandhi. He should not have stopped the movement at that point of time. He writes, sounding the order of retreat at a time when public enthusiasm was at its boiling point was nothing but scandalous. This is the language he uses. Sounding the order of retreat. Mahatma Gandhi asked, okay, let us stop the movement. The whole country was on boil. The British were not able to control the movement. Sounding the order of retreat at a time when public enthusiasm was at its boiling point was nothing but scandalous. In such strong language, Subhash Chandra Bose actually felt that he should not have put cold water on that moment at that point of time, Mahatma Gandhi. But Mahatma Gandhi is very adamant and in a way very particular that no, means are as important as the end. Ahimsa means ahimsa. That's all. That was the kind of commitment he had for his ahimsa. Of course, arguments you can give pro and cons. Different people differ with him, and not everybody actually, you know, need to subscribe to the views of the father of the nation. You have your right to judge, you have the right to differ, but but that aside, keep that aside. But one thing you need to understand: the commitment he had for those ideals that made him Mahatma. And today the world looks at him in disbelief. Is it ever possible? Albert Einstein, what he said about Mahatma Gandhi, he said the generations to come, and then the future generations, okay, would find it difficult to believe that a person ever in blood and flesh of this kind walked upon the planet Earth. ఇలాంటి మనిషి ఒకడు భూమి మీద నడిచాడని అంటే ఆశ్చర్యపోతా అని చెప్తాడు. దట్ వాస్ ద కైండ్ ఆఫ్ హోమేజ్ యాక్చువల్లీ ఆల్బర్ట్ ఐన్స్టీన్ pays to Mahatma Gandhi. But today, actually, there's some war is going on in what part of the world, and people increasingly realize the importance of non-violence and importance of ahimsa. Okay, it's easy actually. There is ahimsa, and ahimsa is always there in the human being. And if you just provoke it, and if you just kindle it, and it becomes kind of fire, conflagration, conflicts will happen, wars will happen, enormous human life loss will happen. So we need more of Buddhas, more of Mahatma Gandhis actually, at any level, not necessarily a physical war, at a domestic level, at a societal level. So much of fights and quarrels are happening. There's so much of mental and psychological violence is happening. When Mahatma Gandhi speaks about ahimsa, not just he's talking about physical avoidance of physical violence, he's talking about violence at a psychic level. కాయ వాచ మనస సృష్టిలోని ఏ ప్రాణికి హాని తలపెట్టకుండా ఉండటం నిజమైనటువంటి అహింస అవుతుంది. An individual who reaches to that point of ahimsa becomes God himself. Why he has given this ideal? Because when you reach to that point, Mahabharata, the central message of Mahabharata, which talks about war, Kurukshetra war, it describes Kurukshetra war, but the central message that comes to us from the Mahabharata textbook is ahimsa paramo dharmaha. Non-violence is the highest dharma, highest virtue. And we have been practicing it more or less, more or less successfully for the last 5 millennia. That's why today India is revered by the rest of the world. Vivekananda also would say again and again, we never crossed our boundaries, we never annexed other kingdoms, we never exploited other races and people. Okay? And that is actually our credit. That's actually our race, actually. He thundered. We have been the peacemakers. He told in most of the Western nations that, in the Bible you read that, blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called sons of God. You show me one race which has made as much peace as Indians have made in the world, have contributed towards the progress of mankind. We have been a peace-loving race all through the millennia. And Swamiji actually trumpeted it. Swamiji actually declared it boldly across the world. And Mahatma Gandhi says, if at all there is a race which can show the path of peace to the rest of the world, that is Indian race. Nobody else has the moral right because they had always fought wars. మిగతా వాళ్ళందరూ యుద్ధాలు చేసి చరిత్రలో అంతా రక్తపాతాలు సృష్టించిన వాళ్ళే. అలా రక్తపాతం సృష్టించకుండా ఎప్పుడూ శాంతియుతంగా జీవించినటువంటి జాతి భారత జాతి కాబట్టి ప్రపంచానికి శాంతి మార్గాన్ని చూపెట్టడానికి నైతిక అర్హత అనేటువంటి ఒక భారత జాతికి మాత్రమే ఉందని మహాత్మా గాంధీ విశ్వసించాడు. అందుకని దాన్ని అట్ట గట్టిగా పట్టుకున్నాడు. Okay, for example, like people like Buddha, only this soil has produced. In the years to come, you will understand, the importance of peace, importance of non-violence. What I'm saying is, take up one idea, think of that, dream of it, and make that idea your life. Something great will happen in your life. What idea you will take up, that's up to you. Okay, thank you. Nice evening.